Scorpio, this is the one that I've been waiting on. Thank you so much for listening. Let's get into this. What is going to happen when Saturn enters Pisces on the 7th? Well. It's definitely going to bring you into a transit that I just wrapped up, and it was not easy. Okay? It was not easy. All right? So let's go ahead and get into it. Saturn will enter Pisces on March the 7th. And it's going to be hitting you in your 5th house, Scorpio. The 5th house. 5th house of love, creativity. They also call it the house of pleasure. Leos are known for being charismatic, outgoing, and dynamic. So if it makes sense that the 5th house, ruled by Sun and Leo, governs all things related to expression and creativity. Pleasure is in this house. And the name refers to enjoyment or satisfaction that is derived from what is to one's liking. Whatever your vice is, whatever is enjoyment to you. The 5th house will tell you about things that create joy and fulfillment in your life, such as art, culture, romance, games and hobbies, and even family and children. Saturn's moving here now. And when Saturn moves into something, Scorpio, it brings up things that's broken and makes you fix them. Now, let's talk about Saturn with fixed signs, because I had to have this conversation with Leo as well. Knowing your energy, you want power and control. I know you don't like it, but if you don't like hearing that, then you need to really read your energy. You may not be that type of Scorpio, but we're not talking about stereotypes. We're talking about your energy, your Scorpio energy. I'm not saying that you're a control freak, but it is a huge part of your energy to be in control. You're much more comfortable when you can be in control or have power of something. So listen to what I'm saying and don't take it out of context. So with that being said, Saturn is going to come in and tell you what the hell to do. Now, I don't know if you're going to like that. And it's going to be telling you how you have your fun, how you communicate, or how do you create joy and fulfillment in your life. It's going to tell you and come in and shake this house up and repair it. And this is not a fun transit. Me as a Libra rising, me and my entire collective are wrapping this up. We are handing the baton to you as we move on into Saturn now going into our 6th house. We have had this transit and it has not been fun. All right. So I'm going to go into a little bit of this and I will give you some personal parallels that may help you. So getting serious about fun. Yeah, that's a paradox. And it's you. And it's one you'll be living for the next 3 years. A new cycle begins March the 7th when heavyweight Saturn moves into Pisces for the first time this century, starting a 3-year march through your 5th house of creativity, love, and expression. Can you make a living or life out of lightening up and expressing yourself? Saturn thinks so. So if you're a multi-talented Scorpio with a passion for the arts, this Saturn phase wants you to dedicate more time to your craft. Work with a mentor, coach, or seasoned expert to develop your skills. It's time to humbly adopt a beginner's mind and learn from the people who have been there. It may seem daunting, if not impossible, to go to belting ballads in the shower to drop in a demo with your favorite indie record label. But if you start working on your dream now, the point is taking the incremental steps and regular practice will eventually pay off. Even if you don't aspire to be, some type of pop star, you're being guided to consider some type of media training while Saturn's in Pisces. Strengthening your voice and presence will help you in situations, even if it's just advocating for yourself at work or in your daily life. You're being guided to connect with your true core power. The same practice make perfect approach that applies to your personal life. When Saturn is here, you will need to commit to the enjoyable parts of your life and make them regular practice. From date nights to dance class, you'll get more out of life by doing things consistently rather than waiting for one big giant firework moments. All right. So I'm happy that there's a spin on this, but I want to let you know, if you were an individual, let me just say, who lived out loud, did everything that you wanted to do as a Scorpio rising, whatever you didn't do in the fifth house, Saturn is going to make you do. All right. So if doing things and getting what you want and practice makes perfect is something that's regular for you, all of the areas in your fifth house that has been broken down, Saturn is going to shed light to. And one of the things that I want to say is about love. If you are an individual who is single, and I've been doing your energy too, even in that new moon in Pisces, you got the wish energy, Scorp. And that was also bringing down the energy of your fifth house. So if you're wishing for somebody to come back, if you are in an energy where you have not done all of those things that you should have done to serve your fifth house, that shit is about to come under fire. And it's going to feel uncomfortable until you start to listen to your intuition and do what Spirit is telling you to do. Now, Saturn was last in Pisces from May 21st, 1993 to April 7, 1996. If you're old enough to remember what was happening during that time, look back for clues of what may resurface now. And if you were born then, welcome to your very first Saturn return. The best news is between now and February 13, 2026, you can expect lighter lessons than the ones served by Saturn's last cycle. In Aquarius, March 21st, 2020, Saturn had been at a tough 90-degree angle, squaring your sun. And it put a lot of weight-bearing load on your fourth house of home. Yes, it did. Hosting restrictive Saturn here during the pandemic may have felt especially cruel. I know it did. But this March, you will emerge from the cycle with a much firmer foundation and a strong sense of roots. I do know a Scorpio rising who went through hell with people in his home, people getting sick, caring for relatives, and all of that. And unfortunately, his house of love was in the toilet, in my opinion. Unfortunately, though, now that Saturn is here, it may not be presenting a 90-degree square, but Saturn there for any individual who likes to do what they want to do is going to be, because it's the house of love. So I'm just saying, some of the things that this isn't saying that I'm saying to you because I'm going through this now until the 7th is it's going to make you feel like, and it's going to affect everybody differently, but I just want to put some fat on your head, Scorp Collective. It may make you feel like you don't want to go out. It may make you feel like you don't have enough time to do certain things that you once thought was enjoyable. It's going to come in and restructure all of these things. It may bring up things with children. My Saturn, that the cycle definitely brought up things with my kids. My oldest from my youngest. The way we communicated things that was happening in their lives and how I handled them. It was a pain in the ass. Of course, I lost people in this transit as well due to the pandemic. And you just feel like you don't want to be bothered. You know, depending on how it's going to hit you, you may just want to isolate. If you are an individual who is extremely social anyway, it might make you be the opposite. And if you are a person that is extremely isolating anyway, naturally, it may make you do the opposite. So it had a very light approach, but I wanted to give you that because we do realism over here. And just because it made me feel that way don't mean that it will do it for you. I happen to be an individual who did get some traveling done during this transit, but I'm going to tell you for all of the little moments that I took that I enjoyed myself, there were more lessons than there was enjoyable time, because this is your house of love. This is the house where you have fun. This is your creative house. So if that takes a turn for some of us who are very social and depend on our friends and our outings and our trips and our social groups to make us feel, a part of something, and this is what we're used to, this may just come in and may make you look at all of that crap differently. Okay? All right, Scorpio, I'm going to be done with you now. Thank you so much. If you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and drop it below in the comments and let me know what the last transit just did for you and how you feel about this one. All right, Scorp, I'll see you in the next.